Friends. In the company of friends.
Wake up, everybody.
Welcome to Breakfast with Friends.
It is such an honor and a privilege to be with you on this Tuesday morning, 15th of February, and such an honor and awesome for us to be able to say good morning to Christy Herselman, whom we spoke to just yesterday morning in our Story of Hope segment. How are you doing, Christy?
I'm doing so well. Thank you for asking, Jonathan. Nice and cool here in Durbs for a change. So yeah, all good.
Oh, well, then they've sent the weather. You guys have sent the weather to us because we are humid, sweating, and it's hot. It is amazingly hot.
Yeah, we like to share the humid love with the rest of the country every now and then.
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. So, Christy, thank you for your time. And this morning, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about the incredible event that's coming up here in Cape Town on the 1st and the 2nd of March in the evenings. The first is in Melkbosstrand, the second is in Goodwood. It's called #WellConnected, Raising Safe, Wise and Kind Digital Users. Now, already that title says a lot, but we need you to unpack it for us, Christy.
Sure. The chat, as I said yesterday, exists to help parents have difficult conversations. And one of the things I find parents struggle the most with these days is, how do I talk to my kids about the digital space? We feel out of our depth. We feel overwhelmed. We feel like sometimes our kids know so much more than us. One analogy I like to think of is sometimes we feel like our kids are growing up in another room with the door closed and we don't even know where the key is, let alone how to get in. And so Well Connected is about getting inside the room, getting into these conversations, getting involved in our children's digital lives, equipping, empowering, safeguarding them, and actually helping them grow out ultimately to be healthy digital users. And as the title says, Jonathan, I kind of feel like it's helpful to unpack it into the three spheres. So being safe from the dangers of the online space. So we go quite a lot into things like pornography and some of the other dangers that are out there. And then wise, when we are online, how are we interacting? What choices are we making? How much screen time? Where are we using our devices? Those kinds of things. And then also just how is your child being kind? There's so much hate, so much bullying, so much unkindness online. And so I feel like as parents, part of our role is, are our children just being good people online?
Sure, that's very, very good and on point, because the world has changed. And, talking to other parents, the reality of the fact that when we were growing up, we didn't have the stuff that our kids have. And technology constantly changes. There's a new app, there's a new this, there's a new that. So as parents, I must admit, I'm a little bit daunted, by the task of parenting and trying to figure it all out. So I think it's so great that an organization like Focus on the Family Africa are partnering with you and the chat and saying, you know what, let's empower and let's help parents through this phase. So for those parents that are listening, and I'm aware that there are parents and kiddies listening to us this time in the morning, and it's a difficult conversation when it comes to screen time and things like that. Just give us something in terms of what you're going to be talking on and some of the real nuts and bolts that you're going to be giving to parents come the 1st and 2nd of March here in Cape Town, South Africa. Please, Christy, if you don't mind.
Sorry, can you just repeat the question? I lost you for a second there, Jonathan.
Oh, okay. So I was just asking if you can give us some real nuts and bolts with regard to what you're going to be talking to the parents about on the evenings here in Cape Town, Melkbos and Goodwood on the 1st and 2nd of March, especially when it comes to screen time.
Sure. So we actually have a morning event as well on the 2nd. Let me just get we have a morning event on the 2nd in Melkbos as well. So that morning session is going to be a talk called Zero Shades of Grey, Protecting Your Child Against the Dangers and the Allure of Online Sex. So that's going to be specifically around pornography. What are the dangers? How do I talk to my child about it? Why is it important? And ultimately, how do I safeguard them and equip them? Because it's not a case of if my child sees porn online, it's a case of when. The average age a child sees porn in South Africa for the first time is 10 years old. So that's going to be very focused on one of the biggest battles our children are going to fight in this generation. And then the evening talks are a more generalized talk called Well Connected, where we're gonna talk about what is screen time, how much screen time, what should they be watching, how as a parent can I be involved, and then we're actually going to spend a chunk of the time talking about how do I build a healthy digital culture in my home. What very practical, active steps can I take in my own family to put things in place that are not just going to be external rules, but will kind of shape the heart of my child, so that this becomes just what they do. And we're gonna talk about all sorts of very practical things from the actual device, how to make that a safer tool for them, to the environment, how we use them, how we talk about them, to some very practical boundaries, and in the process of releasing them into the digital space with more autonomy, how to let go, when to let go, how involved should I be, those kinds of things. Yeah, and then also just being aware of that teen and tween space and how to navigate that, because honestly, the time when things mostly go wrong are between the ages of 12 and 15. So how do we navigate that very tricky space and guide our children through it and out the other side?
That makes so much sense. Thank you so much for putting that into perspective for us. As we wrap up this morning, just quickly, in terms of the importance of parents actually saying, you know what, because I'm aware that there's some people that have got little grade 1 and grade 2 kiddies, in their lives, and they might be thinking, I'll get to this.
Yeah.
Why should people attend these events come the 1st and 2nd of March?
So many reasons, but I'll just pick two. The one is the earlier you start, the better. If your child has access to any device, whether it's your phone, whether they go, or even if they just go on play dates to other people's houses where they have screen time, the earlier we equip our children, the better. And then secondly, it's just going to be so empowering, because it's going to make you feel like, oh, this is a space that actually I as a parent can lead in. I can take ownership of it. This is not something I can abdicate to my children. And I feel like parents are going to leave going, okay, this is something I can really practically do in my home. And I'm actually feeling like I have what I need to actually be the one in my home who guides, who leads, and who takes my children into their teen years and beyond in this space.
Sure. So good. Thank you so much. That is so important for us. Again, ladies and gentlemen, you can get your tickets by simply going to safamily.co.za, and there you can find the whole hashtag well-connected information, also the information for the morning events, which is going to be so powerful, the 0 Shades of Grey, and that's morning events, all happening in and around the Cape Town area. So go and check it out for yourself. safamily.co.za. Christy, thank you so much for your time. Really great chatting to you, and we wish you and your family all the best.
Thank you for having me, and I'm so looking forward to visiting.
Yeah, we are looking forward to it as well. All righty.
Thank you.
Take care.
Have a good day.
God bless. Thank you.
You too. Bye.